We're down here in Souk at the Vancouver Island Lodge. We've brought together a group of First Nations as well as government and high-tech businesses from South Vancouver Island to look at how to deal with the problem of wrecked abandoned hazardous vessels.
But we believe by facilitating the process where different interests can be in the same room, that answers can be found there. So we bring together community, we bring together suppliers, and we bring together government. And we develop a process together.
It's incredible to have a group of people that are so passionate about our coastlines and so passionate to solve some pretty major problems, but also finding ways to empower the local First Nations to monitor and protect their own territories.
With the information age, new technology, it's great that they could bring together certain aspects of technology that could be a tool for us in dealing with something that's been a problem for a long time.
Vessels of concern is what the Coast Guard calls derelict vessels, or vessels that are in imminent danger of polluting. They can be vessels that have been abandoned. They could be on a beach. They could be on a mooring or an anchor. They could be sitting alongside a dock. There are not a few hundred of them, there are several thousand of them.
There are over 2,500 vessels in the Vessels of Concern list. Most of those, 90% of them, are on Indigenous territorial waters. So there's a huge opportunity there for communities interested in participating in that program to develop business opportunities, develop joint ventures, and use the vessel of concern removal and recovery to advance their economic development plans.
One of the biggest challenges that we face is the ability of those remote communities who are most impacted when things go wrong through oil spills or other marine disasters. So by combining technologies and bringing together highly trained, motivated Indigenous marine teams together, we can really punch above our weight, bringing needed capability and capacity to improve overall spill preparedness and response in Canada.
Vessels of concern have been something of a problem for us for a long time. Anything that has any adverse effects to the environment, we need to deal with it.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. My name is Brandon Wright. As I introduced earlier, I'm the founder and CEO.
We started in the morning with BRNKL Systems, one of our high-tech partners, providing an overview of their technology and training for the communities.
With this system and the Canadian Coast Guard's installation, they were able to see that over time.
The rapid deploy came about after the Canadian Coast Guard called us one day saying that they needed to remotely monitor some derelict and abandoned vessels in Vancouver. We have an original product called BRNKL, and the BRNKL Rapid Deploy was an evolution of that original product. BRNKL Rapid Deploy monitors if the boat's sinking, if the boat's on fire, if there's been any sudden impacts, or if there's been an intruder on board.
Every BRNKL has its own QR code.
Not a marketer for BRNKL, but everything that the Coast Guard has needed it to do, it's done. And it saves a lot of money for us. You know, if we don't have to fly into or over or send a vessel in to check on a vessel that we know is of concern, we can use those resources, human resources or vessels, to do search and rescue or to do other kinds of important work along the coasts.
We were able to take that technology and the community marine teams down to the water. We looked at various boats and how the equipment could be used. And we also had the opportunity to work with the Beecher Bay drone team, which is doing monitoring of the area, and we're trying to figure out how to incorporate those various technologies from an Indigenous perspective.
So this drone has 20 times optical zoom and 50 times digital zoom. I can monitor this vessel from a very far distance.
Cando is about providing the tools and resources to communities to be able to self-determine the path forward in terms of community economic development. What we do is we look for those opportunities and we present those opportunities to communities, and communities that are wishing to pursue those opportunities, we support.
They really are an opportunity navigator. They are translating government speak into local community speak. They can serve as a bit of a translator of government requirements into practical opportunities for the nations.
There's also a great opportunity to have interactive online, perhaps modules that the learner can get some base knowledge, practice, and sort of feel more prepared for the work that's going to be done. What we might see is a variety of options based on how remote the community is. Sometimes a back to basics kind of bringing it to that level where you can interact with hands-on resources, and other times having something more technology-based. So I think there will be a mix.
I take things that Coast Guard does well, and I create the capabilities that we're trying to develop here in other countries with other agencies. For 2 days, I've been looking at a new way of monitoring and responding to vessels that are in some state that causes us some concern. For me to be able to deploy that capability, it's an opportunity for them to solve their problem. It's a potential for new business for Canadian industry, and to be able to partner with a First Nation in doing that is also super exciting. And I want to model that, if I can, into the programs that I run.
Certainly what we've seen in the past 2 days is there's a level of excitement and interest. The next steps would be, let's develop the curriculum, let's test the curriculum, let's then start training the trainers, and let's send this across the country, build capacity coast to coast to coast, and sell this to the world, because there's vessels of concern and wrecks and hazards everywhere. The world could really be informed by projects such as this.